Well, howdy, nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and to all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. Holy smokes, it is raining up a storm outside, by which I mean there's no storm, it's just raining. It has been wet and rainy for days and days and days. And it's warm still, so thumbs up for that. Yay! But I'm alive. I slept kind of last night. A lot of discomfort, got to bed late, and then woke up really early. So joyous day on that. Still though, I am alive. That is a good thing. My aging pet is still alive. My housemates are alive. My neighborhood is alive. That's a good thing. And hopefully, especially if you're watching this, you're alive too. And of course, front-loading of videos. Hey, if you could toss me a like, that'd be very cool. If you could subscribe to the channel, that'd be awesome. If you could leave me a comment, that would be double plus good. And I would like to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons. These are literally beautiful people who are literally beautiful and awesome, helping to keep me and my aging pet alive. Thank you so very much. Without your help, I would be hosed badly. And I don't want to be hosed, whether it's badly or pleasantly. So, if you would like to help me become alive still, I messed up my English. There are links in the video description, as well as links to a PayPal for possible donations, an Amazon wishlist link with things like pet food, and of course a post office box where I will open up anything on camera that people send to me. I only ask for postcards and keychains, so thumbs up and thank you. Hey, front loading of videos over, and good golly, Miss Molly. Hokey smokes. I don't really have a whole lot to think and talk about, but there are some things that I wanted to talk about as well. Taking a look on my list here, I mentioned how I get yelled at a lot when I go out walkies, and I think especially one of the reasons is, to the untrained eye, I probably look pretty homeless. And I have to say the untrained eye because, if you know what homeless people look like versus what I'm looking like, I probably do if you don't know, but there are a lot of things missing because I don't live on the street, so there are a lot of little points and things that are missing. I am definitely not putting down the homeless. These are people that are going through times. Okay, smokes. So I feel bad for anybody in that situation. But one of the reasons I think is I do things like I just walk around with one sleeve rolled up if I'm too warm. I don't want to roll up the other one because I don't want to get too cold, but I can't keep the other one unrolled because I'll get too warm. So I'll have just the unrolled sleeves like this, and then my shirt is untucked as I'm walking around. I've got duct tape on the backs of my shoes, because that keeps them lasting longer. They look terrible with the duct tape on the back, but it used to be when I would wear my shoes, the friction would rub the back off. That would tear the fabric off the inside of the shoe, and then it would rub the foam mount that's, forming the body of the shoe, and then there would just be this big gap for my foot to slide around the shoe, and I'd have to get rid of it or just have blisters. Putting duct tape on the back of my shoe, it saves the shoe, it lasts longer, and that's very, very good. But again, I've got duct tape all over the back of my shoes, and it doesn't look good. So yeah, probably when I'm out wandering around with my untucked stuff and looking like I'm maybe not thinking all that clearly, I can possibly understand. Thumbs up for that though. I've never been one to worry a whole lot about my appearance that way though. I go for comfort, and if I look outlandish, I'm not going to do it, but I just comfort over the way I look. Thumbs up for that. But also, taking a look on here, I watched this one fellow. He's kind of a rednecky looking fellow, lives in rural Florida, but he is intensely leftist, and one of the things he was talking about is they have changed their focus on what to do in the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. How they're going to tell the world about it if we do find alien intelligence, if we do have contact with aliens. Unfortunately, they're having to look at how we treated the covfefe bug. And if the covfefe bug reaction by humanity was a test, we failed horribly. Oh my God. It used to be the general thought was if we found alien intelligences, we would disseminate the knowledge through the government and then contact the UN, let them know, and then let it go from there. But the way we've reacted to the Covfefe bug alone, they're even wondering if they should tell the public at all if we find intelligence out there. Because we would likely tear the world apart with those, like the anti-vaxxers, you got the anti-aliens, oh, that stuff's not happening. Oh, you've got news agencies like Fox who, hey, sniffing out that capital they want, they're gonna pour out those aliens from outer space, they're coming to take your stuff. So, yeah. Life is life, though. Taking another look on my list, I don't have a ton. There was one thing that I wanted to talk about, but I can't even remember what the first part of it is. So I'm going to go on the second part, which is I play the game Grim Dawn a lot. And it was, I think, 77 Arcturus, that talked about how the people that made that game, Crate Entertainment, who had originally, a lot of the developers were from the group that made Titan Quest, they're making a new game. And it's a colony sim. And that's good. I'm glad that they're making a game, and I hope that people enjoy it, definitely, because they are good developers. I personally not looking for another colony sim. Just like there are some people that would look at what they were doing and going, I'm not looking for another isometric point-and-click Diablo clone, and then turn away from Grim Dawn, and appropriately so if they don't like that kind of gameplay. I've played a lot of colony sims. I have a lot of colony sim games. I don't really want another one, so I hope they make a lot of money. I hope they do well. They're good developers, but oh well. Still, I don't know if they've continued to nerf a lot of the game of Grim Dawn. Like a year or 2 years, with my ADHD, I lose track of time badly. But one of the last times I had played it before, I was playing in veteran mode, and it was a struggle. I mean, literally a fight. I was having to run from everything. I mean, the very beginning of the game to when I was level 50, I would have to engage and then get the hell out while my summoned creatures took care of stuff, and only when they were low enough could I actually start to engage personally. Well, now I'm playing on veteran again, and I'm blasting through everything. They just cannot withstand my forceful might. So I don't know if they've just nerfed it. Thumbs up. But I've continued to go walkies up to Walmart and back every night, and that's a good thing. Oh, real quick, what with the changes to YouTube, I went through and checked. So many of my own videos have been age restricted. You have to be 18 or older to watch them. And they're like vlogs like this. I don't swear. I don't do anything in videos that would make them be age restricted. And yet, so many of my vlogs are age restricted. And of course, they're really cracking down on stuff like violence. If you show violence that would be okay on TV, your video is demonetized. If you swear like they do on TV, your video is demonetized. If you gear your video toward children, your video will be demonetized. But if you gear your video towards adults, it will be demonetized. There is a children's app for children, but they're making YouTube that's not the children app children friendly. And if you do anything that can offend a child, then boom, you're gone. However, of course, any corporation that does this stuff, their videos are fine. But if you do it, you're demonetized or age restricted, and it's bad. There's this one guy, Daniel something, I believe he's Irish, I just can't remember his full name, but he's had a lot of stuff, and he's not incredibly family friendly, but he doesn't swear a lot. He does swear sometimes, but he plays games and does things. He had a video demonetized that was just a bunch of clips from other videos that were monetized, and when he said, YouTube, what's wrong? Why did you demonetize this? They went through and have been basically demonetizing his entire channel, and he has millions of subscribers, lots of views, and they're demonetizing everything, age restricting everything. And when he's complained and said, hey, they just went, oh, we checked your stuff and it's appropriate for us to age restrict it. And once you have appealed once, you can never appeal again. Ever. So his channel is being destroyed, and he's not a bad person doing bad things. I can't play things like Doom with the brutal mod anymore. Those will be demonetized for violence. And of course, with their change in the profanity laws, 2 words are okay now that they will not treat as profanity, but every other word is going to be treated exactly the same. So if you spew a vile racial slur, that would be appropriately demonetized. But if you use a word like using a colloquial term for somebody's backside, they will look at that exactly the same as if you had been just spouting off vile racial slurs. They're treated the same. So you accidentally let something slip without realizing, they treat it like you just gave off a vile racial slur and demonetize your video. So happy days. But I do want to talk about this before it's all over. One thing I said yesterday is the world pulsates with a I can't even remember how I said it now, and I hate that, but it's the world pulsates with the beating of a cryptid heart. The reason I say that is I've mentioned how there are these gates where you can travel to the inside using glamours. There are also these one-way gates I've mentioned as well that pour out cryptid energy into the world. And while there are a basically huge, a near infinite amount throughout the universe, in the area where we are, there's only the Earth that does this. It's not exactly rare, but in 1,000 galaxies around where we are, we're the only planet that does this. But from the very moment that our planet becomes stable, these gates start to open and cryptid energy pours out like a liquid, and it sinks into the earth all the way down to the very core. It fills our planet like a cup, and it does not stop until from the very mathematical center of the planet up to the highest peak of the planet at all times, the cryptid energy is effectively 50 miles deep above that. The energy pours through that much. Even with no life, the planet is covered and filled with this energy. Because we are a human-centric system, which seems to be mathematically, and I don't even understand long division, so I couldn't explain this math at all. The fact that it is human-centric changes the focus of the cryptid world, which is good for us, because alongside all of us in this world, there are all sorts of cryptid things, like cryptid viruses, bacteria, fungus, plants, animals, insects, and all this stuff with all the potential of this extra universal chromosomal set that's being expressed. But it is growing alongside and parallel to our world. Now, I have mentioned before that since our system is cyclical, every 15 billion years, the sun bursts with energy, renews, new accretion disk, new planets, new world. Every 15 billion years it starts over again. When it is human-centric, yes, all of these things exist parallel to us, but there is a genetic imperative for them to not eat the natural world. We are delicious to them, but not just humanity. During those cycles, when it's just humanoid-centric and not human-centric, so that the cryptids are not shackled to us. When I mention that we are devoured into extinction around Australopithecus times as humanity, I don't mean just humanity. Every normal matter piece of organic on the planet is devoured by the cryptid world. There is nothing left that is non-cryptid if it is organic and alive. From that point on, it is only a cryptid world. But by the time they evolve into intelligence, they have no ideas. There's no evidence that their world was anything but a cryptid world. So in our world, parallel to us, there is this other world that thinks the entirety of our existence is delicious, but there's that imperative to not eat the other world. Of course, there are some cryptids, some dark cryptids, some light cryptids, shadow cryptids and all that do. But even someone like Polly, who eats a lot of people, she has that genetic imperative to act within your nature. And so while she does eat people, she could not eat more than she does, even if she wanted to. That genetic imperative. Nobody knows it's a genetic imperative. It is just a cultural act within your nature thing. Because if you act outside of your nature, you suffer emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually. It hurts to act outside your nature. You suffer. So yeah, when I say that the world pulsates with the beating of a cryptid heart, yeah, this energy fills the world long before we exist. And it fills the world up until everything starts over and the world, well, before that, our world becomes too unstable and the gates close. But that's about 10 out of the 15 billion years that this cryptid energy is pouring in. The other energy from the inside that pours through and rejuvenates, renews, and restores the universe out here, this energy only pours through when the force of our intelligence basically knocks on the door. The door opens to the razor's edge, and then that energy comes roaring through like a tsunami until at last the system can take care of the down conversion, and then it's just normal energy that pours up. But before then, it is a geyser of energy from the inside that comes roaring through these doors. But when we leave existence on this world, those doors shut. But the cryptid doors are still pouring out this energy constantly. You could almost say that really it's a cryptid world and our existence is forced upon and crushing them. But from a person-centric point of view, of course, I don't mind. There's a lot more than I want to talk about, but I just really don't have a ton of time. So I'm going to quickly glance over this one. I mentioned before, there are really 3 reasons for eating somebody as a cryptid. Philosophically, they're all different. Physically, they're the same. You would want to devour someone because you love them so much. Again, devouring someone is an incredibly intimate act. You are taking them into your body and then physically making them a part of you forever. There is nothing more intimate than eating someone or being eaten. It is the ultimate form of love, to make someone into a part of you, literally 2 people becoming one. Philosophically, you can also show your contempt for eating someone. Different reasons, same result, because you're showing someone absolute contempt by eating them. You are taking a living, breathing, thinking, sentient, sapient, voluntary willed person with agency and body autonomy. And in the end, they're nothing more than a hearty bowel movement and a 2-pound log. Huh. So yeah, total contempt. And then of course, there's just, you're hungry, so you're eating someone. Now, just like a corn chips crunch and crackle when you eat them. Do you think about that a lot? You probably don't even notice it 90% or more of the time when you're eating corn chips. So when cryptids are eating people just because they're hungry, they don't even notice when people are screaming, because people scream when we're being eaten. Dorito corn chips crunch when they're being eaten. Same thing, they just ignore it. And I've opened up 24 hours with the comments in my community tab. I'm going to go through and thank however many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours. If I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended, and even though I can't American Sign Language, well. So we have Jesse Koskinen, thumbs up, thank you very much, and good to see you. Chris, thumbs up, thank you, and I do try very, very much. 77 Arcturus, thumbs up, thank you very much. And I do like Oblivion a lot. My favorite is still Morrowind, but when it comes onto a listing, it would be like Morrowind, Oblivion, Daggerfall, Arena, and then, so that's my listing of my favorite Elder Scrolls games. We have JAYY, thumbs up, thank you. And oh, the brain is fascinating. It's absolutely amazing. And Moki Boy, thumbs up, thank you. Greatly appreciated. And I hope you enjoyed the videos. And then we have, well, once again, 77 Arcturus. I'm going to try and talk about all the stuff that you mentioned on the next time, because you talk about a lot of good things that I want to mention. Randy Anderson, thumbs up, thank you very, very much. Raul Conte, greatly appreciated, thumbs up and thank you. Es ist gut. Sebastian Ferris, oh, hokey smokes. Here's hoping that you have fun back in college. Hokey smokes. And then we have Cake, greatly appreciated. And oh, the whole subscription thing with Wondershare, it was a mess. I came out okay, but hokey smokes. And then Floramu, thumbs up, thank you, and good to see you in the comments. And that is it. 10 people who left me comments in the past 24 hours to get me out of my head, into the world, dealing with real people. It is appreciated to no end. Definitely a thumbs up. Well, it's still Sunday? Question mark? It is still Sunday, so I'm going to take the day pretty easy. I'm going to try and do something for the channel, probably like Minecraft, but who knows? I mean, I'm still pretty inspired to show off and do like wilderness and dungeon and urban things with the kind of system that I'm putting together using a bunch of other systems. So we shall see. Hopefully you can get done the things that you want to get done. And of course, with everything happening in the world and the covfefe bug raging, please just be smart for your situation and your location. You don't need to get sick. You don't need to make other people sick. And if things are bad physically, I wouldn't go out dancing in traffic or like playing around magma. So just be careful. And if you are out walking and you do hear the mournful howl of that bus horn, the bus with your name on it, well, be prepared, be prepared. It probably won't hurt much on impact. Probably. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is definitely a very good thing.